2025 is the year of the municipal races, with elections being held in many cities and towns. Today, we continue our look at New Haven with the Democratic candidate, the mayor. We had Republican Steve Orosco on last week. And joining me now is the mayor of New Haven, Justin Elicker. And Mayor Elicker, good to see you here on the program.
Good to be here.
So you've had a very busy summer. You announced several months ago that you were running for re-election. That election is now fast approaching. Why do you think you deserve to be re-elected?
We got a lot of challenges in this city, but we've made incredible progress. I've been mayor for over 5 years now, and the city is booming, right? We see housing development all over the city, brought over 4,000 units online in the last 5 years. We're seeing our crime significantly down, and that trend continues. We're working on our education system and improving our education system. We're hosting the world's largest pizza party. I mean, things are going well in the city.
We had your opponent on last week, as you know, the Republican candidate, Steve Orosco, who says that you've neglected parts of the city. And he mentioned that there's been an increase in some crimes. There was a deadly shooting right around the corner from the Omni Hotel. How do you respond to these accusations?
So first of all, no life lost is acceptable. And we work very hard to confront all violence. When you step back and look at the numbers, we have the lowest number of shootings in the last decade. And that doesn't mean that we don't have more work to do. And in the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've had some pretty challenging issues. I would say that I've never seen my opponent at any vigil, at any funeral, and now that he's running, he all of a sudden cares about these issues, which is concerning. But because of the work that we're doing to improve the police department, we've got a contract that is attracting new officers and helping us retain officers. We've implemented a lot more technology around the city, cameras that are helping us solve more crimes. We have violence interruption programs. We're making a lot of progress. And it doesn't mean that we don't have more work to do, but when you see the trends, we're going in the right direction here.
The last time that a Republican defeated a Democratic mayor of New Haven was, I believe, World War II. It's been a while, so Democrats have been in charge for a long time. So they would certainly bear the responsibility of the situation of the city. Has the city improved over time, do you think? If you look back, let's say 50 years.
Yeah, I guess I think particularly in today's highly polarized world, I don't think we should look at things as Democrat versus Republican. And frankly, at the city level, there's not a lot of partisan issues. Everyone wants better schools, everyone wants their streets paved, everyone wants to have taxes at a reasonable level. Everyone wants to be safe in the community, and those are not partisan issues. And I think it's more about the record that my team and I have set and the work ahead of us rather than some sort of partisan divide.
As you know, one of the stories that made some national news was the sexual assault of a woman in Fort Hale Park. The suspect was in this country illegal. In fact, he had been deported twice, somehow got back into the country and was in New Haven. What is the message that sends to other people who are in the country illegally? Are they welcome to come to New Haven?
People are welcome to come to New Haven if they want to be a productive member of our community. If they're violent, we'll hold them accountable. And I think this is a great example of some of the rhetoric that's coming from Washington that totally misrepresents the reality of what's going on in places like New Haven. Texas didn't arrest that individual. Texas deported that guy and he came back to the US. New Haven arrested that individual. By the way, he was arrested in West Haven. We found him in West Haven, not in New Haven.
Correct.
But when people come to our community and commit violent crimes, we will hold them accountable.
If the president said he wanted to send National Guard troops into New Haven, what would you say? What would your response be?
Not helpful. There's a lot of other help that we need. And frankly, President Trump is taking away a lot of that help. He's threatening to withdraw public safety funding from communities like ours and cut grants. Having the National Guard is incredibly expensive to do, and that funding should be used to actually help cities like ours. And not only do we need more help on the public safety side, but we need help addressing poverty, which is the main driver of a lot of the crime that we have. And Donald Trump has been massively cutting a lot of these social services that are helping people that are struggling to make life work. And so we're going in the wrong direction. And having the National Guard in our city would not be helpful.
Is there any help that the White House could provide?
There's a lot of help that the White House could provide.
Specifically, what would you like to ask for?
So first of all, stop cutting our funding. We're suing President Trump because he is actively cutting funds. There's a $20 million grant that we received and actually had a contract with the federal government. President Trump just terminated that grant. We're suing the federal government on that. They're massively cutting healthcare aid to communities like ours, food service and food support aids to people that are struggling. We need that kind of funding to help our struggling communities. That's what's actually going to help address a lot of the challenges around homelessness, around poverty that cities like ours are bearing the burden of.
We often get complaints about the New Haven Green, this historic, beautiful green. It's really the center of the city where so many people go. It's right across from your office at City Hall. People walk into the green and you can smell marijuana. Now, marijuana is legal in Connecticut, but it's not legal to smoke it in the green. How come there's no enforcement of that?
Well, so there is enforcement on the green, and our officers are obviously dealing with a lot of different challenges around the city, and we're working to hire more officers. But there's a lot actually we're doing on the green to improve it. We've received funding both from the federal government and the state to create a lot of pedestrian and infrastructure that will improve the green. We're going to work to put actually a cafe in the kind of middle of the green there to activate it with a lot of positive activity instead of seeing some of the negative activity. And we're increasing enforcement around the city. You know, I think there's cities around the nation that are really struggling with homelessness right now, with folks that are struggling with mental health and substance use issues. We lead with compassion, but we're also increasing the level of accountability for folks that, after being offered many resources, are just not accepting those resources and have some behavior that's really detrimental to the community.
I want to talk a little bit about pizza tourism, because the state's investing a lot of money to get people to come to Connecticut to try New Haven pizza. And if you go down Worcester Street on any given day, and you just, which I've done, and you talk to people there, they're from all over, right? Other countries, other states, and they come in for to try out the pizza. What more could the city do to boost tourism here?
So
to support that?
I think what we are doing is making, we shouldn't just focus on tourism, but we should focus on New Haven being a place where people want to live. And we're seeing that trend now, right? Over the past 5 years, we've had 4,000 new units built. We have 6,000 in the pipeline. And we want to make sure, first of all, there's a large percentage of those that are affordable, so that people that have been living in our community for a long time can continue to live here, but also make New Haven a place where so many people want to live, and our population is increasing, and it's because New Haven is a diverse community, we're a welcoming community, we have all kinds of rich cultural activities, and we have really fun stuff like the world's largest pizza party, the Grand Prix downtown, night markets that are activating our streets. It's really exciting that so many people are really realizing what a lot of us knew for a long time: New Haven's an incredible place to live.
I have a question on behalf of a Republican who asked me to ask you this question one of these days, final question, and that is, you know, Greenwich is putting up a statue of George H.W. Bush. George W. Bush, the only president from Connecticut, was born in New Haven. Should there be signage celebrating that in the city?
Happy to explore it with folks.
Justin Elicker, Mayor of New Haven. Thanks for being with us. Best of luck.
Yeah. Thank you.